I'm Liz Hurst, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you what else could be more important to employers than just your resume.
I'm Brad Eikens here, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you why these houses behind me are going to be torn down.
I'm Stephanie Aiken. Coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you how officials are trying to keep one drug off the streets and its users out of the hospital. Our award-winning WVU News starts now.
Job hunters are choosing between privacy and employment. Coming up, we'll tell you why Facebook may or may not affect the next job you apply for. I'm Lindsay Cobb.
And I'm Angelica Trenone. A new synthetic drug is sweeping the nation. Find out what is causing superhuman strength and deadly hallucinations. You're watching WVU News, an award-winning newscast from television journalism students at West Virginia University.
The drug known as bath salts is back in the news after the death of a popular television star.
WVU News reporter Stephanie Aiken is in the studio with more on this designer drug. Stephanie?
Thanks, Lindsay and Angelica. Traditional bath salts are made to soothe and relax, but a new drug of the same name is causing the opposite effect and has nothing to do with your bathtub. Bath salts are known for being cheap, potent, and readily available, resulting in users becoming paranoid and violent. The designer drug caused almost 2,000 calls to the Poison Control Center in the first half of this year. I recently found out why this drug is 10 times stronger than cocaine.
Bath salts. Bath salts.
Bath salts is no.
The designer drug bath salts made headlines this summer after users committed gruesome and deadly acts of violence. The National Science Foundation reported that the key ingredient found in bath salts, MDPV, is 10 times stronger than cocaine. Josh Klauser is an employee at a local Morgantown tobacco shop and says the sale of bath salts is much like that of methamphetamines.
It's no longer what's illegal, you know, but it's basically the same thing. And it's just disgusting.
Psychiatrist Brian Quigley says a lack of understanding about the drug can make bath salts so dangerous.
Relative to substances that we really understand well, like amphetamine and methamphetamine, we know particularly methamphetamine to be quite harmful. It's a little bit different than those and has a dramatically sort of different effect that really seems to be kind of scary.
West Virginia legislator banned bath salts last year, making it illegal to buy, sell, or possess the drug. Conviction could mean up to a $1,000 fine or 6 months in prison.
Klauser says abusing this drug is even a problem here in Morgantown.
10 people a day ask me about bath salts or designer drugs in general.
Abusing the drug could cause paranoia, hallucinations, and suicide. Many young people experiment with the drug for its cheap prices and easy accessibility over the internet. Stephanie Aiken, WVU News, Morgantown.
President Barack Obama recently passed a law banning possession, production, and sales of bath salts. But officials say the rapid production of the man-made drug makes it hard to keep up with the growing market.
While officials are trying to regulate the use of bath salts, the FDA and the EPA are pushing to limit one chemical in a popular food. Rice is a normal and healthy source of carbohydrates for the human body, but a recent consumer study shows the fatal toxin arsenic is present in foods. The study tested over 60 popular products, including Kellogg's Rice Krispies and baby food. Officials are calling for set standards and immediate reductions to the arsenic levels. Consumers are advised to limit their rice consumption to no more than 2 servings per week and to maintain a well-balanced diet.
Rice may be affecting your health, but social media could cost you the job of your dreams.
It just might, Angelica. Most job interviews now include looking at your Facebook, but some states are trying to change that. Reporter Liz Hurst has the story.
Facebook is now the second most viewed website, just behind Google, and 700,000 users worldwide join daily. With such growth, many employers are finding that Facebook is now the first interview. James Yeri is a senior at WVU and has already showed his Facebook for an internship.
I'm not really worried about anything that I have online. I had the moral clairvoyance to post it on there in the first place.
But some employers are asking for more than just a peek at your Facebook page. Some are even asking for your username and password.
It is a private thing, and I don't think they should be poking around. You know, it's almost like them asking to come to your house and, look through your rooms and see what you have there. I think it's going too far.
250 million photos are uploaded to Facebook every day, and employers can access them with just the click of a mouse. And now, Facebook has over 550 million mobile users. It's growing every day.
It's a very easy process to get rid of stuff that you don't like on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media you use. And at the end of the day, it's really what your judgment is to put on there and to have shown.
With such growth, Congress has proposed the Password Protection Act bill, which would make it illegal for any employer to ask for any future employee's password. Liz Hurst, WVU News, Morgantown.
While Congress debates the Password Privacy Act, a land deal between the city of Morgantown and West Virginia may create more jobs in our area.
That's right, Lindsay. WVU News reporter Brad Eichenseer found out how this land deal would change the face of the downtown campus. Brad?
Thanks, Lindsay and Angelica. The land involved in the deal will provide a new gateway to Morgantown and a total of 25 acres for development. I found out how it will benefit over 30,000 WVU students.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, council members, deputy mayor.
The Morgantown City Council and West Virginia University officials have announced that WVU has purchased 4 acres of land next to the downtown campus. The area, known as Falling Run Square, will be transferred from the city to WVU for $4.3 million. City Manager Terrence Moore says it's been a long deal in the making.
Opportunity for both the city of Morgantown and West Virginia University to not only respond to needs across the board in terms of public-private partnership, but also with respect to offering a redevelopment program that's beneficial for the entire community across the board.
The area was a previously proposed development zone that did not materialize. The land remained inactive and deteriorating for several years. The 4 acres behind me is the land we've been talking about. Now, in the agreement, West Virginia University must save 20,000 square feet for commercial zoning, which means this gravel parking lot and overgrown land could be a next shopping center here on campus. Part of the deal between the city and WVU is that the university will help raise $1 million for the expansion of the Morgantown Municipal Airport. The recent events have some residents excited.
I think it's good that this area is going to try to be devoted possibly to local businesses.
Planning is currently underway, and the project is expected to break ground within the next 2 years. With the new land, WVU hopes to add a new academic building, specialty shops, and restaurants. For more information, you can visit the website at the bottom of your screen.
Thanks, Brad, for that report. The land deal is just one of many partnerships between the university and the city. Coming up on WVU News, we'll tell you about another new program for local residents.
And coming up on WVU Sports, Jamie McCracken tells us how one overlooked Mountaineer player is balancing football and fun.
Coming up in WVU Sports, I'll tell you about the wild side of one WVU offensive lineman.
Our hearts beat in the face of challenge, for without it, there is nothing. No character, no grit, no goals. Without challenge, there can be nothing. No discovery, no knowledge, no cures. For us, the challenge is everything. Without it, there can be no Mountaineers.
After months of hype, the West Virginia University football team recently made their Big 12 debut against 25th ranked Baylor.
That's right, Angelica, and with a new season and new opponents also comes more attention.
West Virginia's quarterback Geno Smith is one of the few players in the nation being considered for the Heisman Trophy.
That's right, but before Geno works his magic, he relies on a crucial offensive lineman to snap him the ball. WVU News sports reporter Laura Clark has more. Laura?
Thanks, Angelica and Lindsay. Senior Joe Matson is much more than just the center who snaps the ball to Geno Smith. The 305-pound Matson has unmatched charisma and the mohawk to match, but he's one who rarely gets any credit. Well, Matson doesn't really care about that. He'd rather just have fun. Jamie McCracken has more.
The final snap. It's WVU center Joe Matson's favorite snap to make each game because it means it's time to celebrate.
We love you! It's my mom! She raised me from a young age!
Madsen is going for the Remington, the award given out each year to the best lineman in the nation. But now let's get to the fun stuff, like that hair Madsen sports under his helmet.
It's got a mind of its own, and it's getting out of control. I think I need to thin it out so it'll stick up more because it's growing wings.
Madsen bounced around from guard to center his freshman season. This year's goal?
I want to have no regrets, and I want to go on to bigger and better things after football and just have a great time.
And what makes him one of the best linemen in the country?
I don't really want to brag, but I just have fun out there.
With the high-tempo offense WVU runs, going hard every play can be a challenge. Since Dana Holgerson became the head coach of the Mountaineers last season, Joe Madsen has only had 2 games where he snapped the ball less than 65 times. Along with the Mohawk and fellow offensive linemen, Madsen brings a lot of character to the table, literally.
Every Sunday we usually go to half-price Applebee's, and you get the half-price apps, and we get 3 or 4 apiece, and the tables are we have to push them together, and they see us coming, and they're like, okay, this is gonna be bad.
His favorite app?
Well, we get boneless wings, mott sticks, spinach dip, quesadillas, and I mean, pretty much every app that is half price, we order it.
So whether it's fun off the field or fighting for every play, Madsen and his teammates simply have one goal: love what you do. Jamie McCracken, WVU Sports, Morgantown.
Quite the personality. Madsen has snapped to 3 different quarterbacks in his career at WVU: Pat White, Jarrett Brown, and now Geno Smith. Angelica and Lindsay, back to you.
Thanks, Laura. What a character. I'm sure he doesn't let any of that food go to waste.
I bet you're right, Lindsay. Morgantown is trying to make sure it doesn't waste certain products either. WVU News reporter Joe Cooper has that story.
The City of Morgantown Allied Waste recently introduced a new program called the Clean Community Concept. It's a widespread recycling effort outlined to engage the City Council and the public. City Manager Terrence Moore believes that this new recycling effort will help Morgantown become one of the cleanest cities in West Virginia.
Our interest is to make sure that rules and regulations are in place to provide for the cleanest environment possible throughout Morgantown.
Americans throw away 25 million plastic beverage bottles every hour. But if everyone just went the extra mile, and that can make all the difference.
City Council hopes that the new recycling plant will help catch people's attention.
Throwing something away, like, you could just do so much more with it.
With this new plan in place, Morgantown residents will be able to recycle 17 different kinds of materials, including aluminum cans, newspapers and magazines, steel cans, glass bottles, and even cardboard. This movement intends to motivate Morgantown citizens to achieve an 80 to 20 recycling to trash ratio.
That's simply revising conditions and requirements associated with solid waste collection in the city of Morgantown.
Experts say expanded recycling services are expected to turn around city recycling numbers. Joe Cooper, WVU News, Morgantown.
Did you know that one plastic bottle takes nearly 700 years to decompose?
I had no idea it took that long, Lindsay. We hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of WVU News, and we'll see you next time.
Meanwhile, you can visit us online at our website.
You can also see all of our newscasts on YouTube. I'm Angelica Trenone.
And I'm Lindsay Cobb. Don't forget to follow the show and all of our reporters on Twitter. Thanks for watching WVU News.